Okay, today is the 25th of May. It's another video. In regards to the Matheson in the area. I ran for council, and one of the questions they asked me, what would you do to make the town grow or whatever? And I'm like, well, there's a lot of things we can do, but you know, this town's in a logistical nightmare. Like I said, we'll put the shitter there, the dump there, and you know what I mean. It's just laid out really badly, so it would take a lot. And I said I wanted to looking forward, if you like, to working with the other council members and discussing these things, because more heads are better than one. I can't see everything. I might have some good ideas, but there's still some details that I might not be factoring in that others can see, and that's what it's about. But I never thought their idea of growing the town or whatever would be having a 34% increase in taxes. And yeah, I never seen that coming. And well, it's going to have the total opposite effect, right? Obviously. Well, it's not going to kill the town, but it will be the death of what it was. All people who were long-time residents will be, anyways, unable to afford to stay here, so to say. There's some other issues, questions that need to be asked, but I'm not going to say them here. I hope the people that go to this meeting ask them. But they asked me, what do you think about raising taxes? And I gave my answer. And if I would have been in, by the looks of it, very democratic, right? It was a split vote, and the mayor decided. Okay. But is that all just for show? Well, that means if I was voted in as representative for this ward, then this wouldn't have went through. So, they voted in who they wanted, and that's fine. I hope the lady who got voted in serves well. I'm not a poor loser. Well, I didn't really lose. I think it was predetermined. But anyways, they voted in who they wanted. But, since this flooding issue, minus their administrational issues in regards to them taking liberties that weren't theirs and blowing us off, it's all you expect from those who serve you, right? And is to be intermediaries between other levels of government and liaisons, if you like, and being representatives of the people in regards to any impositions by the hierarchy of government. That is the one duty of our municipal leadership. They all of a sudden became government, where they're governing, serving the government in service of the people. You cannot serve the people if you're serving higher up government. They're supposed to be liaisons between the people and other levels of government, protecting the values and principles of those they represent, and fending off impositions of higher levels of government on their communities. That's what they're here for. All of a sudden they became government. So, they're voting this 34% tax, and there's some people happy, and I'm like, why? Not happy, but they're like, oh, well, and I'm like, why? Well, I know why now, and I hope people ask a very good question. All low-income families will be unable to afford, and things are just going to get worse. And any local leaders who do not see where things are going in regards to the hard times we have coming shouldn't be leading. So, I guess all these crying wolves, we're in a recession, all these years has put us, it's just another recession. It's going to be so bad, it's not even going to be funny, eh? But I see what's going on here as a land grab, a stealing of the lands of the people who are longtime residents who do not have the financial capabilities to do improvements on their lands and this and that, and are being hit with a 34% tax increase on their lands. Some have tear down homes, to say it simply, and force them to sell or lose their property. That's what's going to happen. But those who are sitting on their high horse and I'm glad it's only a 34% tax, will be humbled. because when things come around and even out, because after all this equality you speak of is one thing, it's about fairness, and things are not fair in this area, and I won't get into why again. There's some questions that need asking, and I hope the right people ask the questions. I'm going to watch the meeting on the, stream it or whatever, and but if this goes through, the Series 4, well, it's already voted through, but if it's not taken back, then I'm going to analyze in every little thing, because like this here's just wrong. What's going on here? And these are longtime members of the community. I've known some of them since I'm like 12, 11 years old. So, what's going on here? Just madness, right? So, I don't know. It's not going to bode well for the people, okay? There should already been a huge tax increase in this town, tax receivables as they call them, in this community due to the, anyways, I don't want to get into it too much. I hope people ask the right questions, that's all. And, yeah, just crazy. I didn't think they meant by making this town grow is by putting it on the map, by putting a Guinness World Record of the highest tax increase in one shot. Just saying, right? I don't know. We'll see what happens here. It's quite humorous. I don't care, me. Okay? My place is worthless now. It'll be worthless later because of what went on here with the M&R. And if it got too expensive, I'll go stake myself a claim in the wilderness and build a tiki hut. And I'm not kidding about that. Here's a nice place that's being squandered. That should be a protected area at the top of the Waterbag watershed. All kinds of untapped energy there in the form of, about 50, 60,000 pounds of thrust coming out of that dam every second, night, day, rain or shine. So, since the town was corrected in their ways, okay, after our representative for our ward resigned, after being straightened out because he was angry, because he was not informed, because office staff took it upon themselves. I wish that office staff was fired. But the mayor goes on too much about how he doesn't know what they'd do without him. Now, Chris Weir, he's fighting for us. I hope he can get us some reparations. My land's been seriously, had serious damage put to it. And, but the way things are handled, we put forward our delegation and brought forward our issue. Office staff said, no, it's not our issue. It's M&R's. Nothing you do. I knew that was wrong. I went above their head. So our ward representative got involved, and he was angry that he wasn't notified, which he had every right to be. Every damn right to be. And they scolded him by sound. You just got to go watch the past town council meetings to find that out. You can find out a lot by watching those council meetings, because people say things that people just, So I kept pushing, and then he got scolded because he was really ticked off that he wasn't informed. Then we were supposed to be able to put forth a delegation. Instead, they called the M&R in to do their presentation first, which is all BS. They said they did what they did to mitigate the effects when they didn't even know their effects of anybody. I got the phone conversation on my site, Ministries of Elijah, A.J. Royer, Ministries of Elijah with the M&R, where he said, how am I supposed to know? So they weren't mitigating any effects for us. So who were they mitigating the effects for? So, they called in the M&R, had him do his presentation first before when we were the ones who brought the issue forward. What's that about? We weren't allowed to be there to ask the questions. How is anybody on council able to even understand the situation, know what questions to ask, if we weren't able to? And then afterwards we're able to bring forward, and that's when the town got involved. The mayor, I can't complain, he came out, had a look. They're doing their work at the behind the scenes, I guess. Chris Weir is representing us in regards to what the M&R has done, and they need to be held accountable. I hope he's doing his job. That's all the people that a council represents can hope for, is that in defense of representation of the people, they're fighting for them against wrongs that are being committed on them by the other levels of government. So, no amount of money is, you can't put a price on that when you have a council that's representing you. But as I said, when office staff, and they need to be fired, takes it upon themselves to make decisions, judicial decisions and executive decisions on judicial matters in regards to what's relevant to the council and what's not, and does not allow them, inform them, that's just shameful. And they do need to be canned. But hey, who am I? So, as I said, I have no complaints. Everybody at the town council has been always very polite, but it's because they know I'm right. They have not been rude. When I call, there's always someone to answer. If I don't get this number, I'll call that number or leave a message. And they have been very good. I know they've been respectful, but has it been a two-faced thing? I don't know. We'll find out if they're fighting for us, right? So, because there's some things that were said before, right? The mayor saying, "Oh, I hope he lost my number," and they're making a joke of it. So I think they came around and start to understand, but I don't really care. I do care, but I mean, I'm not going to get all worked up about it and angry like I used to. Now it's just, you want to play games, I'll play games, and I know the game very well. And the one duty of local leaders or municipal representatives, that's all they are. They're not government, they're not leaders, they're representatives, is to be intermediaries in representation of those who they represent and other levels of government. That's it. So, office staff took it upon themselves to create a situation where there's a serious dereliction of duty going on. Do you get what I mean? And they seem to think that they're irreplaceable and all this and that. I had a boss in the Yukon. He ran a resort and he said, "I'd never hire the same person back after 2 years because then they think they own the place." And is that what's going on here? Because if not, we're deserved a serious apology. You may not like me, but the longtime resident, my neighbor here, Janet Ramaleski, has been a long-time taxpayer for over 30 years in this area. So to be treated that way, being told by the same person that we're only one person, wow, that means we're all only one person. So in one, as being treated as one, we're nothing to them, according to this office staff worker. I'm not going to give names, but anybody who with any sense can figure it out. They need to be canned. But the mayor doesn't know what to do without them. So as I say, I have nothing bad to say. I don't really care what people make, what they're paid. That's just a drop in the bucket, a peanut, whatever. But apparently they voted themselves this raise when everybody was off lockdown for the COVID. But again, I don't care what they make as long as they're doing their duty in the service of the people, because they're the paid servants. The other council members are basically volunteers for what they get. You want to make the community better? Have representatives that are full-time representatives. Make sure they're getting paid a decent amount. Maybe it could be retirees, because it's not enough to live on, of course. So, a little added income to the retirement. And elders are usually wiser. Okay, but I don't know what's going on here. But there's a couple on council, and I will get them. They're fighting for us. Dave Diamond, he seems to do his homework, and I wouldn't have anybody else. He took another task on, and by what I gather, he has a lot on his shoulders. He's part of the hospital administration or whatever. He took it upon himself to be sort of water management program or whatever it is, Abitibi water management plan, and so that's another duty he's taken on. And I wouldn't want any other council member to be representing us in this matter in regards to ensuring we're being taken into consideration for this dam that was sold as being for our safety in the first place. See, it was sold for our safety, and in the end, it was we were never taken into consideration from them since then. It was primarily for recreational purposes. All the information is there. that two-step and freaking operator. And something must be good because in May, with all the rain we had, heavy melt, it was going over the dam and I started getting flooded. And I seen a chopper go by. I'm sure it was M&R. Maybe I'm wrong. And I called, I talked to Craig, the operator, and they put a log in. And they slowed it down and it started dropping right away. So obviously it's working and the council's been doing their work, but that's my main question is, can other residents expect the same kind of representation in regards to if they have a matter, or are they going to get blown off and not be like me where I'm like, no, you're in the wrong. Your only duty is to represent the people and defend them against other levels of government and ensure that their, as I said, their values and principles are being upheld, defended, if you like, not be imposing the will of the higher up government and think you're serving the people. But that's a whole other issue here. But wow, anyways, 34% increase. This is going on the site Matheson, so I'm going to cut it here, and hopefully I didn't run all over and make it too confusing. I'm trying to keep my thoughts in order line. I'm trying to, because usually I preach, if you like, and it's all over, right? Preaching, it doesn't matter where it begins, where it ends, and yeah, so that's what I usually do, and I'm trying to, and I'm also guarding my words so I don't get censored again off YouTube. So they might even just censor me just because they am putting ideas in people's heads, There's one thing stronger, more dangerous than any standing army or any weapon, and that is thoughts and ideas, all right? That's why they want me in the woods. If this wouldn't have happened, I would have, no one ever would have heard of me. I would have just quietly faded off into the night, so to say, said my little pieces here and there, because we're in a world where no one wants to hear, no one wants to listen. No one can hear wisdom. No one cares to hear wisdom. They hate you if you have wisdom. They despise you if you can show them up as being the fools they are, instead of correcting themselves, right? Which is what a righteous person does. I'm not saying that I'm righteous. I can't say I'm righteous. The minute I say I'm righteous, I'm no longer righteous. Oh, brother, people. Anyways, I'll end it here. I'm at 17 minutes, and this is just a little, maybe, get some fire in people to go ask some serious questions. Okay? Doesn't matter what the office staff is getting paid. It's, are they serving the community with the utmost of integrity for which they're getting paid from? They're servants. That's where their pay comes from, is from the people. But raising it 34%, oh my goodness. And I know exactly why now. It's I won't get into it. I'm hoping that somebody will ask the question. I'm talking to people. But if I say it here, they'll prepare, because they keep outmaneuvering me. They put in emergency response in this town, which is one of the things I brought forward in our delegation when that was refused by office staff. There's a few things, and it's a sandbag. I think you need a more comprehensive and more of a comprehensive emergency plan, especially for what's coming. You want to be a hero and love for the people. Plan for any eventuality. I know that's a bit, far-fetched in that, but the truth of the matter is you should be in these times. And history is shown anyways, it could be an asteroid, could be anything, that's any eventuality. What do you have that you can help the people, except for going to higher, federal government, help us, hey, you know what I mean? Imagine you had something all in place where okay, well, this is what we'll do, and, whatever, but it don't matter, man. We're being led by the crazies, and those who know better, if you're unwilling to speak up, well, that's why we're being ruled by your inferiors, if you like.